Oh, hi, Mark. Let's just go ahead and turn that fan off so you don't have the annoying hum going on in the background this entire video. Let's clear the throat as well so I don't sound like a robot. Anyway, oh, hi, Mark. Let's play my favorite game, which is, can I get the review done before the melatonin kicks in? The answer is no. It's already kind of kicking in, which is unfortunate. I'm sorry, you just saw my bare kneecap. I'm not wearing pants. Are you all gone now? You're like, we don't want to watch you just talk to your camera pantsless. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to watch that either, which is why I only film from the shoulders up, chest up. This is not my shoulders. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. All the shitty attempts at humor aside, how you guys doing? Yeah? Yeah? It's been a rough week. I don't give a fuck, Keisha. I'm kidding. I care very much about your problems very deeply. You should say them in the comments below. Anywho, you probably shouldn't. YouTube is a terrible place and it will eat you alive. Train to Busan is a 2016 action horror film about zombies. That's pretty much it. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, of course. If that were pretty much it, I wouldn't love this movie as much as I do. Full disclosure, I think that Train to Busan is the best zombie movie ever made. So there's that. And I guess I'm going to tell you why. There is absolutely zero things that I dislike about that movie, so just throw that out the window. Throw it out the window. And basically, I'll just tell you all of the things that make this an incredible movie. Firstly, all of the action scenes with the zombies are great. Some adrenaline pumping action. There are some scenes in there, specifically on the train, the going through tunnel scenes, those are really tense. A lot of tense scenes. We have kind of our action hero badass and this big muscle-bound South Korean dude that looks like he could punch the mullet off of, I don't know, man, who has a mullet? Joe Dirt? That doesn't make a ton of sense because I think his mullet was a hairpiece, to be honest. I don't think it'd be very hard to punch his mullet off. Doesn't matter. He is he's a badass character. I love his character, and that is something, in my opinion, that's probably the best thing about Train to Busan. And I am sorry about that fan that's going on. I'm not gonna turn it off right now because I'm in a rhythm, dude. I'm just gonna keep on going. So I think the characters in this movie are really what set it above the pack. I mean, zombie movies a lot of the time are kind of dependent on their characters, because you want to see these characters survive. You want to see them get away. And I don't think there's a movie that does it better than Train to Busan does it. And Train to Busan also kind of, thematically, it seems like all of its characters are somewhere on the spectrum. And this is going to sound stupid, but hear me out. Of like, selflessness or selfishness, which is in every movie, but I mean, this movie harps on it so hard that that it's hard not to notice and it's hard not to make note of, because this is like a central point in this movie. Is this little girl is going to Busan with her father because her father doesn't spend enough time with her, and he's just so removed from her day-to-day life that he didn't even remember that he already got her a Wii for Children's Day, whatever that is. And he gets her a Wii for her birthday, and it's the same exact Wii with the same video game, and he's so far removed from her life that he doesn't know anything about her. And he never has time for her, and so she wants to go and spend her birthday with her mom in Busan, which who can blame the kid? Your dad sounds, unfortunately, like a pretty bad father. But he doesn't stay that way the whole movie. His character arc is great, by the way. I love it. Throughout the movie, he's constantly changing. There's a specific scene, I forget exactly what scene it is. I think it's the one where they're escaping in the or trying to escape in the train station, and he and his daughter go off in a completely different direction, and she's confused as to why they're going off in that direction, and it turns out that he has a helicopter coming for them or something. And his daughter finds that out, I think, and her little face is just heartbreaking, and she's heartbroken. She's like, you only care about yourself. And he's been telling her, this is what he's been teaching her the whole movie, look out for number one type stuff. And I think he finally realizes it in that scene. He's like, oh shit, I'm kind of a scumbag and I need to do better. And so as the do better, not just because like, oh yeah, I'm kind of a scumbag, but like, this is what I'm teaching my daughter. And you see that he really does care about his daughter through all these character changes that he makes, where now he's helping people. He's trying not to be such a dirtbag anymore. And then, of course, you have the big muscly guy who he was always pretty selfless. He was kind of a douche to the strangers some points, but I think it was kind of justified. And but ultimately, he is a selfless guy. He helps pretty much every single time that it's not required of him, but that an opportunity arises for him to help somebody, he does it. And then we have the complete opposite end of the spectrum with the businessman character, who is a complete weasel douchebag loser, who literally in the end of this film is throwing people at hordes of zombies, so the zombies eat them before they run after him, which is so scummy. The fact he doesn't just do it once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times he does this. Like, holy shit, dude. The last time he does it with the train conductor, it wasn't even necessary. He and the train conductor could have got away. At that point, he was just doing it for shits and giggles. He was just doing that for fun. But anyway, so I went down an entire rabbit hole about the theme of selflessness and selfishness in this movie, and I completely lost where I was in the review. Don't you guys just love it? Anywho, let me try and get back on track somehow. But the dad's character arc is great, and it really makes you care in the end when he does ultimately sacrifice himself. And let me tell you guys something. The end of this movie was the first movie to ever make me cry, ever. And I cry like a little bitch every time I watch it. I'm kidding. I'm not like sobbing, but last time I shed 3 tears. I was fighting gosh darn hard to hold them back. But there are 2 parts, and I always forget about the second part. But the first part is when the father gets bit, and that whole sequence when he's on the train and he's trying to save his daughter, and then he gets up there and he says his final words to his daughter. From the time where he starts saying his final words to the time that he throws himself off of the back of the train, I am fighting softballs. And By the way, like a softball in the throat. That's what I mean when I say that. That was a weird way of saying that. Fighting softballs. I am physically punching softballs. It's just a thing. That's what I do every time I watch Train to Busan. Specifically this movie. I just have a supply of softballs labeled Train to Busan on them. Train to Busan punching bags. Uh, but yeah, I'm constantly fighting softballs in the back of my throat or a softball. That um that end where he kind of smiles and he looks up right as he's changing into a zombie, and the last thing that he sees with his conscious mind is his daughter's birth, and it was like the happiest moment of his life, and he has kind of rectified himself in his own eyes and in his daughter's eyes. He's what is the word I'm looking for? He has I think we're just gonna stay with rectified because I don't want to edit this video, and I'm not gonna subject you guys to 12 minutes of me sitting here going he has so he's rectified himself in both his and his daughter's eyes. Redeemed, there we go, redeemed himself. And he throws himself off the back of that train. She's crying, and oh my god, she's such a good little actress. Everyone in this movie is great, but the actress that plays the little girl might be the best child actor I've ever seen. Because like obviously normally child actors are pretty bad. Not that one. Yeah, because she's like half the reason that I cry in that scene, because she is so good. She is so good. And then of course she's the reason that I feel like crying in the next scene too. And the next scene is possibly even more. It's heartbreaking and yet it's beautiful at the same time, where she's walking in the tunnel towards the military encampment, and the military is about to the army guy's gonna shoot them both in the head because he just got the orders to do so, and he's waiting to see if they're human, because his moral compass is obviously telling him if these are human beings, I don't want to shoot them in the head, and I want to wait and see. And then you hear the singing, and it's the little girl, and she's crying while she's singing, and the song that she's singing is the song that she rehearsed for her dad, but she couldn't sing because her dad wasn't there at the rehearsal, and she's singing it now. And that is so sad. God, it makes me feel feelings just talking about it. Most movies can't make me feel feelings while I watch them. I just talk about Train to Busan, and I'm like, look away, because I'm gonna cry. And you have to have both great actors to portray these parts and great characters for those actors to portray for me to give that much of a fuck about them. Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, that's what carries this movie is the characters. They're fantastic. Of course, the zombies are really cool. This is my favorite instance of fast-moving zombies. I think they look the coolest here. They're kind of like they got the little herky-jerky movement, weird shit about them. And I think that's all I have to say about this movie. I really do love it, though. I love absolutely everything about it. The movie looks good. All the action sequences are great. All the characters are great, and some of them are terrible in great ways or great in terrible ways. I have no idea, but like the people you're supposed to hate, you hate the people that you start out disliking and you later really end up liking. uh, the movie pushes you in the direction of liking or disliking these characters very well, and I just over explained that whole last thing to say this movie has good characters. Shoot me now. Anyway, guys, that was my Train to Busan review. I didn't mean to make it 15 minutes long, um, but I love Train to Busan. What do you guys think of Train to Busan? If it is anything other than it is the best zombie movie of all time, you're a gosh darn liar. Dang it. You need to seriously reevaluate. You don't want to sell me dust sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. I don't know why. I just did that. I'll see you later, though. Probably not. Probably not. Not after that. Catch you guys on the next one. Maybe.